Hello, everybody. Will, the FHE fanboy here. And it has been a hot minute since I did a VHS update. The last one was May 19th, which is just a little over a month ago. I didn't realize how long I'd been starving you guys for another one of these. But to make up for that, I'm making one right now. And not only is this a VHS update, this is also a birthday present showcase video. Yes, my birthday was just a few days ago, and not only did I get quite a few new additions to the collection that I am currently in the process of ripping and digitizing, but I also got quite a few books in here and a toy. But we'll get to those later. Right now, and some of the tapes aren't even from FHE. There's some early Disney stuff in there. But before we get to that, I'm going to start with the big box FHE tapes that I got for my birthday. Starting off with two first wave releases from FHE. First one here is The Adventures of Sinbad the Sailor. This was FHE's fourth release that they ever did back in 1981. There's the front of the box. And here is the spine. As you can see, there is a number 4 at the top of the spine, which lets you know this was one of their first tapes. And here is the other spine. There is the top. There's the bottom. And here is the back. As you can see down here, the FHE logo that was originally here is covered up with an MGMUA home video sticker, which should imply to you that this copy is not from 1981. This copy is actually from 3 years later, in 1984, but it still uses the original tape master. It does not contain a warning screen. It just has the FHE logo and the main film. No trailers at the end either. So with all that out of the way, let's open this thing up. Let's see. That's not the end to open it up at. This is the end to open it up at. There we are. There we are. There's the tape label. Look at that nice aluminum and green, yeah. Let's get this thing out. Some of these things are quite delicate. Be careful with them. Let's see, there we are. Getting it out of the tape tray, and there's the sticker that has the print date on it. As you can see, the print date is October the 8th, 1984. Let's get it back in there. Just be careful with this. Put it on even ground, and there we are. Okay. So that's Sinbad the Sailor covered. And the next release is the very next title in FHE's first wave. The Littlest Warrior. I was very excited that I got a copy of this one, just because the movie itself looked really interesting, and also because this was FHE's 5th release that they had ever done back in 1981. But this copy, just like with the other one, is a later edition. And in this case, the original master was altered. With this being a copy from late 1985, they plastered the 1981 FHE logo with the 1984 FHE logo and the warning screen at the beginning. But the rest of it, I'm assuming, is pretty much identical to the original. There's no trailers at the end of the film or anything either. And as you can see up here, you will see that there's a number 5 up here, indicating that this is number 5 in FHE's first wave of releases. There's the bear cub on the spine, who has an oddly deep voice in the English dub. I don't know why they did that. They was probably just like, well, it's a bear. They gotta give him a deep voice, but like it's a bear cub. Shouldn't he sound like he's younger or something? I don't know. I don't know what the friggin' decision making was there. And also, if I could just say something about this movie was a lot more depressing than I thought it would be. This is a sad story, man. Like, this is about a family who was at peace in their lives. Everything was going perfect for them, and then things fell apart because of some evil people separated and killed most of them, till only, you know what, I'm spoiling it for you, but if you want to watch it, go ahead, but I'm just saying this to warn you, it is a tearjerker. This is absolutely a big tearjerker. It's probably one of the saddest animated films I've ever seen in my life. Yes, it does have a happy ending, but it's something else. I'll just say that. I don't want to. I've probably spoiled too much about it already. Oh well, never mind. There's the back cover. And as you can see, there's no MGM sticker on here because this was after their contract with MGM UA expired. This particular copy. Oh, and also, something else that makes this a later copy is that you see this? You see this thing? It goes into here. Goes in here. This little tab here goes into this hole on the flap of the cassette. That is how FHE packaged their tapes under MGM's tenure and as far back as when they first started in 1981. But after their contract with MGM had ended, later in 1985, they stopped putting those little flaps in. So that should tell you right away that this is a later copy. See, there's no flap here to stick into the flap. And also, another thing that should tell you it's a later copy, this GWL85 thing that's in here. Oh, sorry about this. You know what? Instead of me recording this while the phone is in the case, and thus me having to put up with this flap getting in the way of the camera, I'm just going to take the flap off. There. Now I have no hang-ups about that happening at all. All right, let's get this out. There is the case. Black all over. Very classy looking case, this. And let's open it up. And as you can see, it's a very interesting kind of case. They got a couple of these things, in here, but I don't think, I have no idea. Okay, never mind. There is the tape label. It's got this little thing here. I don't know what the heck that's doing there. And you see on the label it says number 5, just like on the label of Sinbad the Sailor. It says number 4. And let's pop it out, and you'll see it has the print date sticker. if the camera will focus right here. Oh, good grief, it is getting blurry. Okay, good. Okay, good. So the print date here is October 19th, 1985. Yeah. Let's tell you right away, it is a later copy. And as you can see inside of this case, there's also a smaller indentation here that shows this is a smaller indentation that was for beta tapes if the copy was on beta, and there's a larger indentation for if the tape was on VHS. And this being a VHS copy, it fits into the larger indentation. All right. So, the next one is from a couple years later. And I'm very happy to have it now. This is the Little Rascals Christmas special, the 1983 TV special by Romeo Muller. Worked on the Rankin Bass specials as a writer, and he also worked on the first Strawberry Shortcake specials and quite a few other things like Panda and the Magic Egg and Dorothy and the Land of Oz, Puff the Magic Dragon, and so on and so forth. Really great purse for animation. Really love his performance as the son in Strawberry Shortcake. Yeah, there's the other spine of the tape. And as you will see when I can get the camera in focus, the catalog number on this tape is F345. And there's the other spine of the tape without the catalog number, the one that just says video cassette VHS on there. And here is the back. You can read that if you want to. The camera is nicely in focus. And I think of the 4 tapes that FHE released in the holiday season of 1983, I think this one might be the best. Yes, I think it's better than Gumby's holiday special. I think it's that good. Because the special itself is really a really underrated piece of classic animation. It's kind of a cross between a Charlie Brown Christmas and a Christmas Story in terms of its tone, and the kids are kind of like the characters from Winnie the Pooh. They have their own way of interpreting things in society. This is coming from somebody who doesn't know anything about the original Little Rascals shorts from the 30s, which I know this is based off of, but if the shorts are anything like this, I think I'll enjoy them if I ever get around to watching them. And also the public domain cartoons that they included on this tape were really good choices. They were all Christmas-related public domain cartoons, and I was really surprised to see that the Fleischer Brothers short, Christmas Comes But Once a Year, is in here. I watched that for the first time recently, and it's already one of my favorite theatrically released Christmas cartoon shorts. And something interesting is that even though the tape is almost at an hour by the time the last cartoon on this tape is finished playing, they did include the filmation, the latter half of the late 1983 trailer reel with the filmation stuff from the Strawberry Shortcake in there, but they cut it down pretty drastically. They cut out like half of the Lassie's Rescue Rangers trailer. They completely removed the Black Star trailer, and they edited down the Strawberry Shortcake and Big Apple City trailer to where it's just mostly the narration, which I thought that was really interesting. Very interesting variant of that trailer reel that I saw there. But would I have included it in the collection? Nah, I wouldn't have included it. It's basically just the same trailers, just edited down. I only included ones that I thought were significant enough in terms of audio and visuals to warrant being included. And I've yammered on long enough. You guys deserve to... Oh, did I not show you the top flap? Okay. I'll show you that then. Very, very repaired top flap. But you should be able to see underneath the tape there that this is indeed from 1983. Yeah, there we are. This camera focus thingy. There we are. There's the bottom flap in much better shape there. Now let's open this baby up so I can show you the inner contents of this. And out it pops in a dark blue and white clamshell case. As you can see, that is a very, very nice thing. It feels professional when you hold it. And there is the inner case, and here is the tape. Yeah. It's very good shape, this tape. There's only one particularly bad area on the tape, and it's during the trailer for the Lone Ranger. There's a pretty bad glitch in there. You know, it's not the end of the world. The rest of the tape plays fine, pretty much. I have no idea what this means. If anybody in the comment section can discern that for me, that would be just fine by me. And of course, we got our little smiley face friend over here telling us to rewind the tape because apparently some idiots in the video rental days didn't do that. Alrighty, back in the case it goes. I will worry about putting these in their boxes once I'm done recording the video, because this is a lot to get through. All right, next one. A new copy of Strawberry Shortcake Pets on Parade. Yeah, in case anybody doesn't know about the old copy that I have of this, it's over here on the shelf. Let me grab it. Yeah, yeah, that's the old one I've had since 2023. I think you can see why I wanted to upgrade. Yeah, there's a pretty raggedy looking box. Very, very faded. I wanted something that reflected what the tape was like when it was brand new. But I think I will end up keeping both of these in the end. I was going to throw this one away, but I don't think I will. And I'll tell you why. Because I was transferring the new copy, and unfortunately the audio was very, very glitchy. It was full of glitches, which is something that I cannot say about this one. But I'm keeping it, not because it works any better than the other one, but because it reflects what the tape was like when it was brand new. And I'm keeping this one because this copy was made when the tape was brand new. This copy was printed in March of 1984. And I'm assuming this tape came out in April because most FHE tapes are usually printed a month in advance of when they actually came out. So, yeah, this is, it's a shame that this one didn't exactly play the best, but I'm glad I got it for the cover at the very least. But yeah, this is my favorite of the Strawberry Shortcake trilogy. Oh my gosh, this video has been going on for such a long time now. It's 20 minutes in. Did I show you this one? I think I did. Here's the other one, and here is the top flap. Let me focus in on that. There we are. And the bottom flap. And I'll show you the tape. So, oh, good grief. I gotta be delicate with these things. I think I'm going to put the video on the bed. I want to focus on opening this properly. Might need a little tool to help me do it. Let me see. There we are. There we are. It's coming apart. Yes, there we are. There we are. That's good. That's very good. That's very good. Now to just pull the flap open. Yes, there we are. There we are. Now let's pull the thing out. There we go. And it comes in a red and white case. And there is the tape itself. But there's something different about this copy compared to the other one. At the very beginning, I could faintly hear voices talking in the background that weren't supposed to be there. It wasn't taped through. I think it was the people who were duplicating the master, and it got picked up while this copy was being made. Because it's not on the other one. I think it's legitimately some of the people who were working at FHE having a big argument while the tape was starting to play. Because that's what it sounded like when I was recording it. Come on. There we are. There we are. There we are. And there is the print date sticker. Come on. Camera focus. There we are. I just had to move it a bit. And you can see the print date is June 16th, 1985. So this was just about when FHE's contract with MGM was up, according to Billboard magazine. And this was on the clamshell on the spine, but it flaked off when I removed it from its mint packaging. Yes, this tape was sealed when I got it. This is the first time it was opened up, and the first time I ever played it, it didn't sound very good. Might have helped if I had a tape cleaner, but I don't, unfortunately. I think quite a few of my transfers would benefit from a tape cleaner, but Mom doesn't want me to get one. She's afraid that the mold will kill us, which I don't know how true that is. I'll put the other copy back on the shelf, and I will pick up the next one. And the next one, oh boy, this one's rare. This one's rare. Oh boy. This here is Matt the Goose Boy. What a rarity this is. This was a release FHE had done in June of 1984. And it was one of the first tapes they released that had this baby on the cover. Their most iconic logo. And this was one of its debuts. I have to keep focusing the freaking camera. There is the spine. Here is the other spine. You see the catalog number down there is F475, which I believe is just before A Gumby Summer, which were released in July of 1984. And the catalog number on that is F376. I think this is just before that, I think. And there is the back. You guys can pause this, read it, if need be. And as you can see by the bottom, this was when FHE was still deciding how they wanted to present their logo on the back. As you can see, the lettering of the plain words below the logo is a little unusual. And I think this is a decent enough movie. When I watched it. There's Matt the Goose Boy. Let me open it up. Oh, there's the bottom flap. Forgot to show you guys that. And there is the top flap, with a copyright date of 1984. In case you guys are wondering if this tape has any rare trailer content or promotional content at the end of it, it does not. It does not. It's just the... It just opens with the flashing warning screen, the 1981 FHE logo, and then it has the main film itself. No trailers at all. And I do have another copy of this, but it did not contain the cover. I bought this one because it did. Otherwise, the cover would have been lost media. And the print date on the other copy that I have of this is, I believe it was late May 1984. But this one does not have a print date. And it's in an IVE tape tray. You can see the backwards IVE logo engraved on the back. I did upload the other copy of this before onto YouTube, but it got taken down. So don't expect me to upload this onto YouTube, at least. Internet Archive or some other platform, maybe, but probably. Just not on YouTube will I upload this. And next, we have Inspector Gadget, Volume 2. Gadget to the Rescue. This is a pretty fun volume of Inspector Gadget. It's got 4 episodes on it, and all of them were pretty enjoyable as I was watching the tape while it transferred. And this was released in October of 1984. If its inclusion on the trailer reel at the end of Family Circus Christmas, and Its inclusion in a October 1984 Billboard magazine issue is anything to go by. And you guys can pause this and read it if you want to. Here's the other spine. And F482 is the catalog number on this tape. Here is the bottom flap. And here is the top flap. Let me move this down for you. As you can see, copyright date there is 1984. Let me just slide this out. And as you can see, the little label here didn't roll off this time. It's still on there. And there is the partially ripped sticker label. And there was a print date sticker on here, but whoever threw this on ruined it. And now I can't read the print date anymore. I'm sure it was like September of 1984. I'm sure that's when it was. And next one is another replacement copy of tape in the collection. This is New Zoo Review Volume 2. There's quite a couple reasons why I replaced my old copy of this. The main reason being my other copy is broken now. Yeah. Right after I transferred it back in late May of 2025, the tape broke. The other side of the tape flaked off the other side of the reel, and Dad tried to fix it for me so I could do another transfer of it, but the methods that he used to repair it didn't last. And because the other copy, the cover was faded, this one is unfaded. And in terms of playback, it's not exactly perfect. There are a couple of glitchy areas, especially towards the end of the tape. But overall, what I got to transfer of this ended up being a lot better than the other copy, where I used an inferior VCR to capture it. This one I used the Hi-Fi VCR, and I adjusted the contrast better. I wasn't happy with the other transfer of this tape because the audio wasn't the best, and because I had set the contrast and brightness too low in OBS. I wanted to do another transfer of it, but I couldn't because the other copy broke. But now I have one that is not only fixed, but is pretty much exactly the way it was when it first came out. And of course you can pause that there. Read it. And something interesting, on the back cover, you can see it says distributed exclusively in the USA by MGM UA Home Video, but the lion's not there. Some of the later FHE releases that MGM UA had distributed, they took out the lion. Some of their last releases that they distributed through MGM are like this. Interestingly enough. Now I've got to put the camera down again because I don't want to damage this while I am opening it up. Gotta be careful with it. Okay. Skip that. Alright, there we are. I just put the camera down if I am using both hands to open the box. Alright. Alright, it is opened up now. You see there's a little dent there, but it's kind of unavoidable when you're trying to open up the tape and play it. And out you go. Out you go, Mr. Newzoo Review, with your short label still intact. Here is the tape. I gotta focus the adjustment all the time in this video. I am recording this at night after all. Yeah, you get a good look at that. Let me just... All right, I keep forgetting I have to pull this back for it to be in focus. And there is the print date, March 18th, 1985. It's funny because this is exactly one day after the print date on the broken copy, which was St. Patrick's Day, 1985. Kind of stinks that this one wasn't printed on the same day, but oh well, you know. Which also kind of tells me that this tape came out in April of that year. And something else that tells me that this tape came out in April of 1985 is the fact that it was listed in new video releases in a Billboard magazine issue from that month and year. So that should be some new information for you guys right there. And there's the barcode that was on the tape while it was sealed. Pretty much shows you where it came from and what they priced it at. Yeah, FHE probably put the suggested list price at like $40 for this thing. They were just like, nah man, this ain't worth no $40. What are you talking about? It should be $10. We don't wanna scalp the kids, man. And next one is another ultra rare tape. Bob the Quail. This was a release that I only had on Betamax. And now I have finally found a VHS copy of it. I was finally given the ability to see what the contents on this volume of Fables of the Green Forest is. Yeah, this tape came out in July of 1985. And unfortunately, not only does this tape not have any previews like I was hoping it would, but also it does not have the opening and closing credits of Fables of the Green Forest. Yeah, this is another tape that's kind of like those mid-84 Fables of the Green Forest releases. You know, Chatterer the Squirrel, Sammy Blue Jay, and Mr. and Mrs. Quack. Those are all like that. They don't have the Fables of the Green Forest intro or the outro. Just the episodes themselves, with the flashing warning screen and the 1984 FHE logo at the beginning. Which was a little bit of a letdown, but I was like, hey, at least I know now. At least I've seen what this tape is like. And also, brilliant choice for the color of the text right here. You can made it hard for the people to read right here. Why didn't you just Why didn't you choose a color that was easier to read, like red or something else? Just not black. There's a whole bunch of dark colors here. It's going to be kind of difficult to read. I mean, I guess not that difficult, but I wish they would have picked a different color for it. But oh well, I'm not there to tell them. But if any of you guys want to pause this and read it, now's your chance. I also love that the cover on this particular copy is in pretty much perfect shape, especially when I took a couple of the stickers that were on the front of it off of the cover. Like there was a giant sticker right here that said $1 rental. You wouldn't have known that this was a rental if that sticker wouldn't have been there, because boy, did the people who own this preserve it well. It's like I took a time machine, went back to 1985, and just stole this tape from a store and then took it back to the present day. That's what this looks like right here. All right. There's the tape. And one advantage that this has over the beta copy is that the beta copy did not have a sticker label. It was just a standard beta tape in there. It did not have the label for the video, but this one does. Fortunately enough. So not only do I get to see the video, I get to see the label too. And focusing on the... Oh, wait. I'm not touching the phone. I gotta touch the phone for it to focus. There we are. There's the print date. It is June 17th, 1985, which I think was actually the print date for the copy of Strawberry Shortcake Pets on Parade I showed earlier. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm screwing that up. But I do know they were both printed in June. I know that much. June of 85, specifically. Oh, and also, this case is a little unusual. You don't see too many FHE tapes use this kind of case. It's a very, very interesting design here that I've only ever seen on this particular copy of this tape. I'm sure there were more, but it's very interesting, this design. The texture is different, too. Let me get this back in here. Come on, you stupid boy. Come on, get in there. There we go. All right. Cleaning up after this video's over is going to be fun. And the last of the big box tapes that I got for my birthday is Thundercats, Volume 1, Exodus. Finally got a copy of Volume 1 of Thundercats. I did get a couple of Thundercats tapes beforehand for Christmas. They were Volumes 2 and 4. Those being Pumra and Trouble with Time. Those were the two volumes I had before this. But now I've got Exodus. This is like 4 or 5 episodes of the show combined together to make a feature-length film. I could almost see something like this being shown in like a kid's matinee theater. Because it kind of does tell a story. That's probably why they did this. It's probably why they edited all this together into a big movie. And there's the catalog number. It is F3135. I didn't say the other ones because I was talking over them, and you could see them anyway. Unless you're, of course, you're blind watching this, in which case I am sorry. And there is the top with the 1985 copyright date there. And here is the bottom, telling you it's a VHS. And here is the back of the cover, looking very, very nice with those very well-drawn drawings of Lionel and the forget the name of this guy, but he's like one of the worse villain than the main villain. Oh wait, that isn't. I'm not gonna act like I know all of my Thundercats lore. I'm just a beginner, okay? Okay. Alright. And you can pause at any point and read this if you want to. And I love it says, a full-length animated film. Yes, sure, it's a full-length animated film made up of episodes of the show that these kids already saw on their local TV station, if they had local TV back then. Okay, and as you can see in here, there's the GWL 85 thing again. Let me just get this out, and the flipping camera keeps on losing its focus. That's wonderful. And as you can see, there's a black and white clam case in there. Okay, the tape's having a bit of a hard time coming out easily. Okay, there we go. There we are. There's the label. Fully in focus. Right there. I had a hard time starting this tape up because first couple times I tried to play it, the audio was really glitchy. But it was something I was able to fix by, and I can't believe I'm saying this for a standard play FHE tape, adjusting the tracking control. Yeah. Either this tape was... Oh no, this tape wasn't an EP mode or SLP mode. This is standard play. Look at all that tape in there. This is absolutely enough for a feature-length film in the standard play format. I almost considered if this was one of those types of things, which was why I was able to adjust the tracking and let the tape play properly. Speaking of playing these tapes, I haven't transferred all of them just yet, because there's a lot of them. There's quite a lot here to transfer, but I just thought I'd let you guys know what I got for my birthday, and in the days since the last VHS update, which involved me visiting my dad, as soon as possible. I didn't want you guys to go too long without another VHS update from yours truly. Okay. And moving on, we have a whole bunch of... Wait a minute, hold on. Before I show you guys any of the non-big box FHE tapes, I will show you some stuff that isn't from FHE, but is from the early 80s, and is still very special to me. I went to some half-price bookstores, and I was able to get these bad boys. Yeah. Any Disney fans out there? Yeah, I got the very first Walt Disney Home Video release, Pete's Dragon. except it's not actually an original copy. The box is the original sale version. As you can see, wow, this video is coming out to 50 minutes. Good grief. And it even has an original vertical roll notice. And it has the Walt Disney Home Video logo engraved in the clamshell, but the tape itself is very much not the early 80s edition. This is a mid to late 80s copy. I mean, heck, it's 128 minutes. Last I saw, the original was much shorter than that. Let me see. Is there a print date on this tape? Let me see. Is there a print date? A print date? No. No, it's just some of these stickers and. Put it back in. Let me put it back in. There we go. Luckily, these tapes are easier to put back together than the big box ones. And here's another Disney tape. Hot Lead and Cold Feet with Don Knotts. I do know this much about the film. It's a Western movie with Don Knotts, and I know about that funny showdown scene that they show in the Walt Disney and You trailer. You ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? I said I was ready. That never gets old. And there's the spine slightly out of focus again. Okay, that's better. Thank you. Thank you very much. I only want these to be the most perfect VHS updates possible. Yes, and let's open the clamshell, and of course, that is another instance of the Walt Disney Home Video logo being engraved into the clamshell. Look at that niceness right there. And there's another notice about vertical roll, which might indicate to me that I'll have trouble playing this on my tape transferring equipment, because it doesn't do well with vertical roll. And as you can see, it uses the original label. Finally! Wonderful! Yeah, there's the original label, all right. Oh, I didn't notice until now that the two E's were turned against each other. That was a clever thing they did with the logo there. As you can see, this is a sale copy. I gotta put this camera down. This tape looks like if I try to manhandle it with one hand, it'll fall apart. Let me see if there's a print date in here. Nope, it's just some control tape and a green sticker with the word G, the letter G on it. What the heck am I talking about? The word G. Yes, you are a very smart person. Alright, here's the next one. Here's the next Disney tape. This is one I've been wanting to get for a long, long time. An original, almost original copy of a Walt Disney Christmas. I've had the 90s edition of this for quite some time. It's in a slipcover case. In fact, if I take the camera over here and zoom in, you'll see it right there. Anyway, back to this one, which is way better in terms of presentation. Wow, my camera's gotten all fuzzy on me. Let me see if I can't make things better. No, not really. Okay, fine. Video is going to be looking a little grainy for an indeterminate amount of time right now. There's the spine. There is the back. And there we are. There we are. We are in focus. Pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a whole lot of animated Disney Christmas wholesomeness is on the back cover right here. A lot of good shorts are pictured here. All right. And also I think this might be a later edition because Donald's Snow Fight is the last short on this tape. Whereas on other copies, the last short on the tape was Pluto's Christmas Tree, but I haven't played the tape yet, so I don't know. This could just be a later copy with the original box. There's the Walt Disney Home Video logo engraved into the clamshell case. I'm having extraordinary luck with the focus here. There we are. You can kind of see it. There we are. And there's a vertical roll notice. Don't know if this tape actually has vertical roll or not. Don't know if any of them do. I do know Pete's Dragon definitely doesn't. Or I'm sure of it anyway. There's the label. There's the label. There's the very nicely designed tape label right there. And tape pops. There's nothing of interest on here, especially no print date. I don't think they could have stuck it over here. Where did they stick a print date on this tape? I don't think they did. Okay, thank you. Wait a minute. There's a little orange sticker down here, but I don't know if that means anything. And the last one's not really a Disney tape, but it is a special one nonetheless. It is a Muppet home video release, first for me, that I came across at a half-price bookstore. Muppet home video, Hey Cinderella. I do know this much about the special. It's a retelling of Cinderella from the late 60s that aired on TV, and Kermit the Frog himself is the host of the special. And there is the back cover. Yes. Let me zoom in on that so you can read it. Pause it if you wish. There's a very nice illustration of Kermit the Frog in his director's chair. Oh, I love that very much. I don't know why I'm talking like, I don't know, Orson Welles or something, Vincent Price. I don't really know. What am I talking about? That's where the Walt Disney Home Video logo would be, but there is no Walt Disney Home Video logo right here. And I'm going to stop holding the tape like this because it looks like this could snap off at any moment. And there is the tape itself. With a very nice looking label. This is very charming looking. Oh, and there is a print date sticker up here. I didn't check this before. Wow. So, they misprinted it a little bit. Let me see if I can read it. I'm going to set the camera down again. Let me see if I can discern this if I hold it up to the light. All I know is that it came out on the 7th of a, excuse the fart, certain month in 1983. let me see if I can... Yeah, I can't see it. I can't see the print date. Dang. Disney... not printing the label properly. I can't read the print date. Dang it. Oh, well. I'm sure that's not important to them. Okay. So now, after all of this is out of the way, we can move on to the slipcover tapes. Disney and non-Disney. I mean, that's not what I said. I mean, FHE and non-FHE. That's right. That's right. Okay, I'm not going to go necessarily in year order over here. Well, you know what? Maybe I will. I'll go as chronological as I can make it. Okay. Let me just. There we are. There's a There we are. There we are. Let me just lay all this out for you. There's a yeah. That's. Yeah. This is sure taking shape. Right over here, and the boo, but it beep 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 and if you can see that, oh wow, the video is grainy now. Oh gosh, let me see if I can't fix it. Okay, this looks better. This looks way better. Yeah, there's the 1987 6-volume set of Robotech from FHE. And most of it is in SLP mode because this was an impulse buy and I didn't check the tape. Well, even if I did check the tape, even if I could check the tape inside, I wouldn't have been able to see it because whoever the seller was just took pictures of the spines, not the tape inside. If he had done that, that would have been really helpful. And me deciding not to, you know. I haven't transferred any of these yet, but I do know one thing. I'll definitely have to keep my fingers on the tracking control button on the VCR as they play. Unfortunately. Okay, there is volume 1. I'll go over these quickly. There is the front. There is the spine. There is the other spine. And there's the catalog number, in case any of you care to read that. The focus is really bad now. And there's the back cover. Y'all can read this if you want to. The interesting thing about this particular copy of this volume is that the label is dated 1989 instead of 1987, which is strange to me anyway. And look at how little tape that is in there. That is nowhere near enough tape for a 100-minute program. Because anybody who has standard play videotapes will know that for an 100-minute program. Let me just grab these, one of these Disney videos as an example. There should be like this much. Should be like this much in the tape if it's like 100 minutes or more. Yeah. Should be way more tape in there than there actually is. See, as much as I love FHE, I can acknowledge they are absolutely not perfect, and that, unfortunately, them cheaping out on their tapes in the late 80s throughout the 90s by printing a lot of them in SLP is a big testament to that fact, and I'm really ticked off that they did that. It really just makes things harder for preservationists, but they didn't have collectors and preservationists in mind at the time. They're just cartoons, after all. Yep. It's 100 minutes, dated. The label's dated 1987 this time. And there's... look at all that. Look at all that tape. There's barely anything in there. Great. Wonderful. Beautiful. I couldn't be happier, you know. There's volume 3, and it's yep, 1987. That sure is enough tape in there. Oh, I almost thought that there was mold on it, but no. It's just a little spot on the plastic of the tape thing in there. Oh, I didn't realize I had volume 4 upside down. Oh boy. Well, it's right side up now. There's the top of that. There's the back. And there we go. There we are. There's the tape. And there's the very small amount of film in there. And I just wish that FHE was smarter about there. I wish they had more common sense not to do this. And it just makes things inconvenient for the consumer, too, because what do you mean I have to get up and constantly be the one babysitting the videotape? Because whenever the tape gets glitchy and has a fit, the quality has a fit on you, you have to get up and fix it. I want to sit down and be entertained by a video. I don't want to babysit the video. I already have enough trouble in my daily life at school to deal with that stuff. Oh boy. I understand it was cheaper. I understand it was cheaper to do it this way, but it just sacrifices the quality of the product and the integrity of your company, FHE. There's the tape in there. Yeah, there's the tape. Pretty much all of them are in EP or SLP mode. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That was a very smart buy from me. I don't know if anyone who has or is more familiar with the situation behind these Robotech tapes, do any of you know if they printed any of these in standard play? And if there's a whole set out of there of those, I would very much love to have them, as someone who actually cares about these things being preserved properly. If there is better source material out there of these tapes, then that would be greatly appreciated. And next I think I'll get these 3 I know they're generally the same time frame. Okay, this next one was an incredible find. Spiral Zone, Zone of Darkness, a tape I almost thought didn't exist. I thought this was just a... Now, for those who are lacking the critical context here, I gotta bring out the other Spiral Zone volume that I got for my birthday. I thought that this was just the final version of Zone of Darkness. I thought Zone of Darkness was just a prototype title for a tape that never came out, and they just retitled it to Ride the Whirlwind. And I found out one day at the flea market, no, Zone of Darkness was a real release that really existed. And I only got it for like $10 there. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible to find this. And it was in standard play mode too. Had a very good experience with it. This is a lot like Transformers or G.I. Joe in terms of the style and the writing of it and everything. The dialogue is very Sunbow and Marvel, even though it's not exactly by the same team. You guys can pause that and read it if you want to. And there's the tape itself. Now I'm conflicted on when this came out because the label says 1987, but the cover says 1988. So maybe they just made a mistake and typed the wrong date on the cover and put the right one on the cassette, but I don't know. For all I know, it could have come out in early 1988, but it wouldn't exactly make sense for tapes released in 1987 to advertise it then. Maybe it was just as a coming soon thing. I don't know. There's the tape. It looks like there's mold on here, but it's really just the plastic. I think there was a sticker right here that was covering it up. I had to take that off. Okay, and there is a print date down here. Print date is October 7th, 1987. Okay. Confirmation right there. So I guess the 1988 thing on the cover really was just a typo. Okay. All right. And I guess I'll show you guys the other Spiral Zone tape. This one's a lot more common on eBay. For a while, I thought this was the only Spiral Zone tape. Until I found Zone of Darkness. Unfortunately, this one's not in as good of quality. It's because it was in EP/SLP mode. And worse than that, this copy of this tape does not have a hi-fi track, and it's punched at the top, but there's a fair amount of FHE tapes out there that are like that. Yeah, there's the back cover. You guys can read that if you want to. Again. And here is the tape. And yes, the reels really did come out yellow when this tape was opened up. When it was brand new, sealed. This was a sealed copy that I ended up getting. And the print date on this copy is March 31st, 1988. So this tape more than likely might have come out in April of that year. Yeah. There we go. Let me see. And next, we got 2 volumes of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus Home Video. Yeah. These 2 are from the middle of 1987, even though this one uses a reprint master from the middle of 1988, because it has a trailer at the beginning with the blue sky video shelves graphics that advertises the Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey Circus ABC and 1, 2, 3 videos. But it's a different variant than the one I included in the trailer compilation. A variant that I couldn't find on the internet. The narration and the visuals are exactly the same, but the music is different. That's what stands out about it. So yeah, here's Big Cats of the Big Top, with a very nice painted rendering of a tiger on the front cover. There's the spine. As you can see, the IVE stamp is still left from when the tape was brand new. There's the top flap. Here's the other spine. And here is the back. You can pause that if you want to and read it. And there is the tape. The label is still dated 1987, even though this is not a copy from that year. And although there's less tape in here, this tape looks like it is in standard play mode. Print date on this copy is January 17th, 1989. Here's the other one from 87. Canine Cunning. Teach your dog circus tricks. In case any of you wants to put on a circus in your own home, you can do that with your dog. There's the spine. Here's the other spine. And there's another sticker with a different barcode covering up the original. Don't know why. They probably changed it at the last minute. Or the barcode was different in some territories. I don't know. Here's the back cover. Y'all can read this if you want to. There's the Canine Cunning, the top flap. And here is the tape itself. So yeah, it looks like Big Cats of the Big Top and Canine Cunning are both in standard play. And this one also looks like it's the original tape master, because this has the rare variant of the FHE logo that's only on the first few circus tapes. And it might have a trailer at the end, but I haven't checked the entire tape yet. I haven't transferred all of these. I'm just showing them off to you so you can see them. And let's see, what should I show them next? I know. I'll put the phone down. I'll grab the next few over here. Setting it up here. Move over, Inspector Gadget. Don't want you to get into the showcase frame, and here we are. We got 2 more circus videos, Ringling Brothers. It's a 2-part set right here. The Greatest Animal Acts of All Time, Part 1 and Part 2. These both came out in 1988, it looks like, whereas the previous 2 were from 87. And there's the spines of them both. As you can see, Part 1's a little faded, but oh well. Part 1's also in SLP mode too, but you know, roll with the punches, I guess. There's the top flap. Here is the other spine. Here is the back of both of them. You guys can pause and read it yet again if you want to. And here's the tape for Part 1. Yes, unfortunately, we got another SLP offender right here. I'll just have to adjust the tracking while I'm playing the tape. You know, the tape starts crying like a baby in video form. I'll adjust the tracking and calm it down, or I'll try to anyway. Here's Part 2. This one's got a slightly later looking sticker label over there. This might be a reprint master, but I'll see. It looks like it has enough tape and therefore a 30-minute program, so this one might be standard play. There's a print date down there, I'm sure. Yes, there is. The print date is April 26, 1989. So this one is probably going to be a reprint master instead of the original. But oh well. Here's these next few. Here's Dot and the Koala, the third Dot film that FHE put out on video. The third of 4. First Dot film they put out on video was Dot and the Whale, and the second one was Dot and the Smugglers. Third one was this one, and the last one was Dot and Keto, which I have not found a copy yet. There's the cover. Here is the spine. Very nice illustration here of Dot and the Koala. This film actually turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to be when I watched it. And as you can see, there's a sticker here for IVE direct marketing. And there's the top flap. And there's the back cover. Y'all can read this if you want to. There's the tape. And yes, it is in standard play mode. That was a big reason why I got this particular copy, because I've seen copies of this tape that are in SLP, and I wanted to make sure that this copy wasn't like that. Let me see, is there a print date? Is there a print date down here? Is there a print date hiding at the bottom of this? No, I don't think there is. I don't think there is. No, there isn't. There's no print date on here. Up next, we got Teddy Bear, Cub Reporter, the third and last installment. Well, I accidentally stopped the recording there, but consider this like the video's still playing. I didn't make a stupid mistake like that. No, sure, not me. This is totally still going on. And it really is still going on, because this is the next tape. This is Teddy Bear, Cub Reporter, the third and final installment of the Ted E. Bear trilogy. The trilogy that started with Bear Who Slept Through Christmas and continued with The Great Bear Scare, and it ends with this video that is not 2D animated and is instead done with puppets. Yeah, every character, all the citizens of Bearbank are rendered here in puppet form, despite what the front cover and the rest of the packaging would have you believe. I'm pretty sure that they just put the cartoon teddy bear on this cover because they wanted the tape to sell well and they wanted that brand recognition. They wanted people to recognize, hey, this is the same guy from the Bear Who Slept Through Christmas and the Great Bear Scare. You remember those things? Well, you'll love this thing that we're selling you now. I'm pretty sure that's why they did that, in case, instead of putting the puppets onto the box. And there's a little rip up there, but oh well. There's the back cover with full illustration of the Bear Witness News organization. That is partially cut off because there's a little bit of Werner von Bear right there. There is the description. You guys can read that. I always let you guys read the descriptions in case you want to. In this video anyway, I don't know if I've done it on the others. There is the tape itself. And it is in standard play. And it only has one trailer at the beginning. It's the trailer for Mapletown, The Case of the Missing Candy, which I'm pretty sure was the last Mapletown volume that FHE put out. I'm pretty sure. Unless I discover something else on the internet that falsifies that notion, then I'm pretty sure Case of the Missing Candy was the last volume of Mapletown. Anyway, on to a tape that I ended up getting two of, because I found two copies that I was happy with, and my dad already bought the other one, so he was like, I just already bought this one, but oh well, I guess I'll buy the other one too. Here they are. As a dude tape set is Mark Sparky's Magic Piano. One of these copies is used, and one of them was shrink wrapped. And thus far, I have transferred the shrink wrapped one, and unsurprisingly, for a standard play tape, it played really, really well. And both of these, neither of them are Avon copies from the 90s. These both appear to be original editions from FHE from back in 1988 when the tape came out. I know at least the new shrink-wrapped one is a 1988 original. Because sometimes with Avon copies, it's hard to tell. Because they don't update the logo to reflect the current branding. You only know if they put in the current branding if you actually watch the tape. Because they plastered the logo on newer copies. Look at this. There's the spines for both of them. Very clever setup. The piano leading into the title. Yeah, that's very cute. And you can see the IVE word mark right there. That's from the sealed one. I think you'll be able to see. I think you're able to tell which one is the sealed one and which one wasn't. There's the other spine. This one has the IVE direct marketing sticker, whereas this one shows the barcode and the MCA distribution notice. There is the top flap of them both. There's the back cover. This is a pretty good special, honestly. It's very entertaining, and it's got some great voice acting in it from some big celebrities like Mel Blanc and Vincent Price and Cloris Leachman. They all did a very good job with the characters that they were given. And I was about to comment more about the special, but frankly, I would rather not spoil it for you. But by the end of this special, I was like, what the heck did I just watch? It was a very similar reaction to The Littlest Warrior. Both this and The Littlest Warrior, I was just left dumbfounded when both of them ended. Wow, I was just like, what the heck? What type of journey did these movies take me on? What the heck, FHE? You guys will only understand if you watch it. But this movie is something else. Hopefully you guys can pause and read all this. If you haven't already, you can now. I am clearing the camera up so that you can. Alright, here is the tape for the new copy. This is, this dated 1988. And of course they opened the tape in the most generic way possible. Because at the beginning of the tape, they just showed the trailer for the Velveteen Rabbit and the Jungle Book trilogy from Chuck Jones. That's on almost more than half of the FHE tapes from 1988 to 1990. They all have that flippin' trailer at the beginning. Like, you couldn't have put something else. But I digress. Yeah. Yeah, they must have loved using that trailer. They must have loved advertising those videos because that trailer is on like more than half of the stuff that they put out between 88 and 90. And even one released from 91, which I will get to later. There's the tape for the used one. As you can see, it's a bit more older looking. And it's printed in dark purple instead of black this time around. And it looks like it's in standard play as well. There's the bottom. And I think I know what this means, but I'm not sure. Is this the 270th week of 1988? Anybody who's more of an expert on VHS print dates than I am, please tell me that in the comments below. But or is it the 270th day of 1988. Or the 27th week of 1988. I don't know. I don't know. Someone enlighten me. Enlighten me on this. Okay. Here's the next one. And this one's another rarity. It is FHE's first and only release of Fireman Sam. Yeah. This was a birthday present. I showed it off on Twitter on the 9th of June. I didn't transfer it then because I was supposed to save it for my birthday. But I was a naughty little boy and I wanted to keep it for myself for a little bit. Oh boy. And there's the spine. With our old friend Sam on the side. And for being an American that grew up in a country that didn't really grow up, didn't really have the original version of this show, other than this one tape, I've seen the original 4 seasons of Fireman Sam, and I think it is an absolute crime that this didn't do well in America. Like, I mean, yeah, the Welsh voices can kind of be hard to understand sometimes if you're an American, but even if it got an American dub, even if it did get an American dub, I think we should have let this be more of a success. Same with Postman Pat. Like, we really lost out big time when we didn't accept legends like Fireman Sam or Postman Pat into our country for very long, because they are some damn good shows. Trust me. Like, specifically the stop motion stuff, the original classic eras of the show. They're really good. Especially if you need something calming and more quiet in your animated diet, then this and Postman Pat are definitely some go-to material to satiate that. You can read this if you want to. There is the tape itself. I haven't transferred this in full yet. And that is because the tape started out with some really, really badly glitchy audio. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a perfect transfer of this tape, but I am living in the knowledge that a good transfer of it does exist by the YouTuber Johnson and Naughty, known by Twitter people as the Children's TV Archive. He did a transfer of this tape on some really high-end equipment. Honestly, it's higher end than my stuff. I know that for a fact. And there is a print date here, but it's kind of hard to read in this lighting. I'm gonna put the phone down, and I'm going to take this to the light, and I'm going to see what it was. It looks like... So it looks like the print date is May 9th, 1989. I'm trying to get the gleam to show up on the print date so you guys can see it and verify for me if that's true, but I just can't. Oh well. I thought before that this was printed on June 9th of 1989, and I was really excited because the tape came in the mail on June 8th. of this year. And I was like, oh, well, tomorrow is this tape's birthday. And now that I shine it up to the light again, I think it's actually May 9th instead of June. Oh, well. Oh, well. Well, the tape still had a birthday this year. Anyway, all of these tapes did. Because they all came out in a year. You know? And that's that. Here's that batch of tapes all done. So I'm going to go and grab the next batch over here. And I am going to come back to you promptly. And here we are. There we are. Okay. I've got everything arranged the way I want it to be, and we can proceed with the next title, which is The Story of the Dancing Frog, a Michael Sporn animated film. And I think this is the first of many Michael Sporn animated films that FHE released onto video. This one came out in 1990. Earlier in the year, because it was before FHE started using their next logo on packaging only. And this is an original edition, and unfortunately it's in SLP. But I was able to get a pretty good capture out of it. I was able to get a pretty good capture out of this because I was there to monitor the tracking. And I've kept it mostly damageless. There are a few spots of damage that I couldn't see coming. There was no warning sign of them. And this is actually a pretty good film, if I'm being honest. I think this balanced the pathos and lightheartedness much better than something like The Littlest Warrior. And I know that's going to tick people off. Like, you didn't think The Littlest Warrior was that good of a movie? It's complicated with The Littlest Warrior because on the one hand, I can respect the animation and all the work that went into it, and the writing was also really good, but the story itself is just really dour. I think if you want an animated cartoon that is kind of sad but also happy at the same time, you might like this more. But that's just my personal opinion. And there's the back cover. If you guys want to read that, I think the video is clear enough that you can. And there's the... Did I show you the spine? I don't think I did. Okay. I think I showed you this spine. I don't think I showed you this with the frog over here. And the catalog number down here is 27320. And like some of the other tapes, this one was hole punched at the top as well. Oh well, can't fix it. All right, here's the tape. Here's the tape itself. As you can see by the very limited amount of tape in there, it is SLP. Yeah, there we are. There's the tape. There's the tape in there. Is there a print date? No, there isn't. Okay, all right. And in the back into the box it goes. Come on, you. I want to get to the next one. If you will kindly allow me to do that. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Dancing Frog, for being easier on me this time around. And next is a volume of the Classic Tales collection. Yes, this is, I believe, volume 3 of the Classic Tales collection. Came out early in 1990. I believe it was March that this one came out. This one's not an original edition, though. This is a 90s... I believe this is a 90s Avon copy. Actually, no, it's not an Avon copy. It's just a 90s reprint because it has the paintbrush logo instead of the writing pad one. Even though they didn't really replace the branding on the cover. They just reused the original box. Well, I haven't previewed this one fully yet. This is 27323. There is the other spine. There is the top flap, and there is the back. You just focus in on that so you guys can read it. Giving space for people to pause. And here's the tape. You can kind of tell it's a 90s reprint because in the back there you can see the triangle from the live home video logo. And live home video wasn't a thing until later in 1990 after this tape had been released. Original copies wouldn't have had the triangle in the background. There's the very limited amount of tape in there. That is nowhere near enough tape for a standard play release of a 51-minute program. And here is another Classic Tales collection release. Alice in Wonderland. This was released pretty much around the same time as Wind in the Willows was. If its inclusion on a certain screener tape from IVE from early in 1990 was indication enough. And this one is closer to original, but I don't think it is the original. Because this one, surprisingly, has a trailer for volumes 1 through 6 of the Classic Tales collection, which you can see in the trailer compilation. Now that I have this tape, I've got a better quality copy of that trailer, even though the tape is in SLP mode. There's the other spine, 27331. And there's the top flap. And in case you want to read the back cover, I will zoom in and make it focus really well. There we go. Oh dear. There we go. Let's pull the tape out. There it is. There it is for you. And one factor as to why the tape played so well is because this particular copy was sealed when I got it. But it didn't really cost a whole lot. It only costed like 16 bucks. And I don't see a print date down here. Okay. Alright. I always check for print dates, and I always check for mold. And next up is another 1990 tape. This one I was very excited to get. It's another Babar tape but it's also got the first episodes of the Babar TV show on it, which I very, very much loved when I was a kid, and I had the first season of Babar on DVD. Yeah, if any of you know what the plot is of the first couple episodes of Babar, you know that it's mostly lighthearted, with some trauma mixed in. I'm not going to reveal what type of trauma for those who haven't seen it, because I want them to see it. But this has the Season 1, Episode 1, and Season 1, Episode 2 of the show on it. Babar's First Step, and I believe the other episode is City Ways, I think. Someone's got to correct me in the comment section about that. This is 27337. As you can see, this 1990 tape has the paintbrush logo on the cover. Before it came into use, of course, because the logo on the tape is still the writing pad logo. And, just like other copies of the tape you may have seen on the internet, it opens with a trailer for Babar the Movie, which is FHE's first Babar release before they released any episodes of the show. If you want to spoil the episode for yourself, read the back cover. I forgot that the back cover spoils it kind of for you. Oh well. And there's the tape itself. I transferred it, and mostly it played pretty well, but there were moments where it started acting like a baby, and I had to rear it back in. Next, we have this tape. I got it from Half Price Books. Very obscure one, this. Widget's Great Whale Adventure. I'm always excited whenever I see an FHE tape at a Half Price Books or a Goodwill that isn't just the same Christmas classic series over and over again. I'm really tired of seeing Rudolph and Frosty all the time at these stores. Just like I'm tired seeing the 90s clamshell Disney tapes all the time at these places. Whenever I find something like this there, it's always exciting. And the first time I ever saw this character, Widget, was in a trailer from the 90s for the ABC for Kids video line. This was one of the characters highlighted in that trailer. There is the back cover. Ignore that little rip there. It was there when I bought the tape. There is the description there if you guys want to read that. And here's the tape. It is a Blockbuster rental. No print date. I think you guys already knew that. Up next is a special. All purchased separately, but a special nonetheless. special bundle for Easter egg morning. Yeah. In case any of you guys don't know this about this special, they made a plushie of Speedy Cottontail. And I'm very proud to have one. I literally did not have any knowledge that they made a plushie of this character until I looked randomly on eBay one day. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's a plushie of Speedy Cottontail. I gotta have it. I just gotta have it. And he's got the original tag still intact right there. But along with the Speedy Cottontail plushie, I also got the Easter egg morning video from FHE. Because, of course, I got an FHE video of this. Of course, FHE made the video. I'm Will, the FHE fanboy. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I balk at the opportunity to own something like this? You know? It's from 1992. Oh, and there is the top flap. And here is the back. I knew about the existence of this special for years and years, but never really took time to properly sit down and watch it. I had seen I forget their name, but Felis. I had seen Felis's review of this, and he trashed it pretty well, and I thought it was going to be garbage. But then I watched it, and I was like, you know, this is such a wholesome special. This is honestly kind of the type of Easter special that Barney would make. And that motivated me to watch the other two installments in the Easter egg morning. Well, not the Easter egg morning. The Bobby Goldsboro holiday special trilogy that FHE put out. Lumpkin the Pumpkin and Snuffy the Elf Who Saved Christmas. I watched those after I watched this, and I thought they were all really good. I thought they were all really wholesome. But some people, I understand, will have a different opinion on them. This isn't something for everybody. And then I saw in the credits that this was made in Texas, and I was like, well, no wonder it feels so much like Barney. And the characters were designed by the people who designed Chuck E. Cheese in the 90s. If any of you guys remember what that design looks like, you can see the resemblance right there. And unfortunately, this copy was in SLP mode again. I wish I was able to find an Avon copy of this, honestly, because I think it would have been in standard play. I wouldn't have had the Easter videos trailer that was at the beginning of this one. This is the original edition, by the way. This is the original 1992 one with the 1992 FHE Easter trailer at the beginning. So I would have lost the trailer if this was an Avon copy, and I would have lost the unique FHE branded label that this one has, but I think I would have gotten a better transfer because it would have been in standard play. But the transfer I got of this one, still pretty good. Still pretty good. The tape did act up a few times in the tracking control department, but I was able to control it as I did with the other SLP mode tapes. Back in the case you go, Easter egg morning. So I can show off the last piece of the Easter basket. The book! I got the Easter egg morning book! And this came with a cassette tape I didn't buy a copy that had the cassette tape because I don't have a cassette tape player, unfortunately. But it's basically just a... It's basically a direct transcript of the special itself. All of the dialogue pretty much is lifted directly from the special. It's the exact same soundtrack, except there's a few lines in here that were added in to make the special make sense in book form. But this book is one more indicator to me that this special was done on cells instead of being done digitally like a lot of the other Bobby Goldsboro holiday specials are. Because the colors here, I know it doesn't really show on the camera all that well. The colors here are a lot richer than what you see on the VHS tape. Yeah, these were all of these, the video, the book, and the plushie of Speedy Cottontail. These were all fantastic finds. I'm Speedy Cottontail, the Easter Bunny, and everybody loves me. Yeah. And up next, I'll put the phone down again to get the next batch. Good thing that that gift bag was there to save the tape from falling. Okay. All right. We almost had a big accident there, but we didn't, which is good. And all right, we got the last batch of FHE tapes coming up here from the mid to late 90s. All right. Now we got 2 more VHS tapes here that are non-FHE releases, and we've got some DVDs and some books to show off. Where the heck did I... What the... Okay, the books are here. All right. I was just losing my mind there for a second. All right, next FHE release is Tubby the Tuba, 1993. This was made after FHE got licensed the special, after they licensed a whole bunch of content from Vestron Video, specifically mostly from their children's video library video lineup. This was one of the titles they got from there. I made a recreation of how I thought the opening and closing of the tape played out a few years ago, and it turned out to be mostly accurate, because it did open up with the warning screen and the paintbrush logo like I thought it would. Only after the paintbrush logo, it showed the children's video library logo, and then it showed the main film, and then it showed the lead-in to the children's video library promo reel at the end, with the female announcer talking above the logo, but then it stopped there, and it showed the paintbrush logo to close the tape off. I thought that was kind of funny and kind of interesting. And Dick Van Dyke was the voice of Tubby the Tuba in this movie. I wonder if Dick Van Dyke actually still remembers his experience with this film, honestly. I really wonder. Does he remember the fact that he played a walking, talking tuba in this movie, who became a giant circus star for some reason? Seriously, I don't know what the people who went to that circus were on when they saw a walking, talking musical instrument and decided that was peak entertainment, even though in the universe that this film is set in, there are so many other anthropomorphic walking and talking musical instruments. What makes this one so special? It's just a tuba being a tuba. It is a little confusing, but you know. Unless those instruments were special. Unless they were special. Unless they were the only ones of their kind to ever exist. Unless the anthropomorphic instruments in the orchestra were the only anthropomorphic instruments to have ever been birthed, and one of them just happened to be a star at the circus. Maybe that was the appeal. Maybe that's why the crowd was going borderline insane when Tubby the Tuba stepped off of the train and a teenage girl ran up and started smooching the heck out of him and fainted, and Tubby the Tuba was just standing there like, what the heck? Any of you guys who have seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. There's the back cover. You guys probably paused this while I went on this whole little monologue here. And there's the if I can get the tape out, there we go. Okay, thank you very much. And there is the label, which is on much smaller sticker paper, like quite a few of the Vestron acquires that FHE put out. And fortunately, it is in standard play mode, not SLP. Fortunately enough. And there is the print date. The print date is October 14th, 1983. 1993. We're not in the children's video library days anymore, boy. What are you talking about? Okay. Next up, we have Here Comes Peter Cottontail. I already have the 1991 printing of this, but that one is in SLP mode. So, I got this one because it was not in SLP mode. It was in standard play. And it is also a 1993 edition of the tape, as it has the 1993 FHE Easter ad at the beginning of the tape. And when I transferred this was actually the first time I had watched the special properly in order. I mean, not in order. This was the first time I'd watched the entire thing. And I was like, dang, what was I missing? This is a really good special. This is not to the level of the Rankin Bass Christmas specials, but in terms of their non-holiday specials, this is pretty up there. This is really, really good. Certainly, probably a lot better than the Easter Bunny is coming to town, probably. And Danny Kaye, oh boy, Danny Kaye, he made this an absolute joy to watch. Oh, in fact, I kind of learned to talk like Danny Kaye while watching this special. And I loved Vincent Price as Iron Tail and how over the top he was. I don't have a nice fluffy cottontail like that Peter anymore. But sir, it was just an accident. The child didn't mean to. I don't care! Alright, next up is a Family Home Entertainment Theater release. Goldie, The Last of the Golden Bears. I usually passed up the Family Home Entertainment Theater releases in the past, but now that my goal regarding Family Home Entertainment video collecting has changed, I've started picking these up. Starting with this one. Goldie, the last of the Golden Bears. I believe this may or may not have been one of the launch titles of the line. And unfortunately, this one is an Avon copy. Let's switch that around. There we go. And one big indicator that this is an Avon copy is that the tape label is not FHE branded. Oh, I didn't notice. The film runs for 91 minutes, but look at how much tape there is in here. This might be, we might have an SLP on our hands. And another big indicator is, yes, this little marking in here. This is an Avon copy. Oh well, oh well, oh well. And the print date is August 20th, 1994. Yeah. I haven't... This is among one of the tapes that I haven't watched yet from my most recent batch of these requirements. The next one, oh boy, I've been wanting this piece in the collection for a long time now. This has been a long time coming for the collection. Here it is, the Christmas Classic Series box set, 1993. I got it for only $5 at Half Price Books. Ah, boy. When I saw this while I was searching at the Half Price bookstore, it was at the top shelf. I just stood at it in awe, and I was like, I have to get it. I didn't care that I already had every tape in it individually in different releases. I wanted the box set, you know? There's the other side of it. And there is the top. There's the bottom. It almost fell off the bed. There's the bottom. With the barcode. Yeah, there we are. And here are the tapes themselves. The 4 Rankin Bass classics. Right here. Yeah, there we are. Let's take them out. Let's show these babies off. These are what always shows up whenever I look for any FHE tapes. These are the ones that always show up. I love them, but they are so overexposed. And the Half Price book sticker on these tapes did say 1995, so I think these are the 1995 editions of the tapes. They might have the 1995 trailer material on them. Let me just put this back in. And there is Little Drummer Boy right there. I'm not showing these in detail this time because like everybody knows what these looks like. Everybody's seen these literally everywhere. And if you haven't seen them, then just look on the internet. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of high quality scans of these covers out there. They're pretty famous. And there's the label again with the the pyramid there, live home entertainment pyramid right there, and there's Frosty the Snowman. Oh boy, Frosty the Snowman. Oh boy, happy birthday! That was a terrible Jackie Vernon impression. I wasn't even trying there. Wow.
Hey, I said my first words. But snowmen can't talk. All right, come on now. What's the joke? And if you can see, they didn't update the FHE logo on the tape label for all these years. Oh boy. FHE not updating their logo. It's basically the same logo, but oh no. And there's Santa Claus is coming to town with old Freddy on the front. Old Fred Astaire. Every Santa Claus is coming down. There is the label. There is the label. Time to put these babies back in the box. Let me be careful with this. Let me be careful right here. Come on, you. Get back in there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Frosty. And thank you, Mr. Little Drummer Boy. Thank you, Mr. Rudolph. Thank you all for cooperating with me in this very haphazard little video here. It'll be over soon. Hopefully. There is Hello Kitty, Santa's Missing Hat, a 1995 title in the Christmas Classics series, and a very good one at that. And especially because... totally not because Hello Kitty is voiced by the same person who voices Maggie in the stop-motion Little People series. Totally not because of that. And one of her friends, Hello Kitty's friends, is voiced by Michael, too, who goes on to voice Funshine Bear in Care Bear's Journey to Joke-A-Lot. There's the back cover. It also has a bonus cartoon of Keropian friends. And a little bonus cartoon about a little baby reindeer trying to be part of Santa's team. No, it's not Rudolph, but it is still a very nice story nonetheless. There is the tape itself. Hello Kitty, Santa's Missing Hat. Is there a print date? Is there a print date down here? No. And it is an original 1995 edition with the original 95 Christmas Classic Series trailer. And these next three are clamshell releases from the mid to late 90s that FHE put out. Here is Speed Racer the movie. Jerry Beck apparently had a big hand in putting together, the animation historian fellow. This is actually my second copy of this. I got another copy because I found out while I was making the trailer compilation, I found out that there were two editions of this tape that had slightly different content at the opening and the ending of them. So I wanted to get this copy to see if that was the other edition or if it was the exact same one that I had before. And there is the tape right there. Print date? No. Next is Highlander. The adventure begins. Apparently there was an animated series based on the live-action Highlander movies, which I know absolutely nothing about. Sue me. This came out in 1996. There's the back cover. And I saw that this tape had a trailer of Phantom 2040 on it, and I wanted to include it in the compilation, but I couldn't find a good transfer of it anywhere on the internet, especially because I didn't have this tape at the time I was putting together the compilation. But oh well. Oh well. You know. It's just how things work out sometimes. There is the tape itself. Let me see. Is there a print date on this thing? No, there is not. And over here it goes, and here's The Littlest Angel, a 1997 installment in FHE's Classic Tales collection. You will see The Littlest Angel pop up again later on when I show you the DVDs. And you'll know why. You'll know why. This is my second copy of this. Again, just like Speed Racer, the movie. This is my second copy. The reason why is because my first copy was the 1998 edition. And it had a different trailer at the beginning. And I bought this just to see if this was also the 1998 edition or if this was the original. Or a 1999 edition, in fact. I haven't transferred it yet, so I currently don't know. Unfortunately, they put on the cover that this is in standard play mode. Why did you take that stupid business practice? Why did you make SLP mode tapes at all? I know you wanted to save money because those cartoons. Nobody would care about it. Nobody would care about preserving the things that you put onto home video. It's not like they would become lost to time and no one would care about them. But I digress. And because this was a sealed copy, it came with a little pamphlet in here. Season savings from Live Home Entertainment. I'm not going to go over the whole thing right now. There is the tape. There's the tape. There's the tape. Actually, let me look at this real quick. This is the 1997 edition. This is the 1997 edition. I can tell. The back of this that advertises some trip to some SeaWorld Atlantis attraction. It says opening spring of 1998. This is the 1997 edition. This is what I was hoping for. I was hoping it would be this one, and it is. Yes. Wonderful. Is this the... Does it have a print date? No. No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, it's just got the number 54 at the bottom. Someone can tell me what that means. All right. That is all of the VHS tapes covered. Okay. Wait a minute, no, that's not all of them. There's two more here that are non-FHE releases. This one's an MGM. Pink Panther Cartoon Festival. Pink at First Sight. One of the last Patty Freeling made Pink Panther things. It was finished up by Marvel Productions before they made Transformers. I've got quite a few more of these cartoon movie stars tapes in my collection in a drawer somewhere in the bedroom. And it's got Pink at First Sight and a few other Pink Panther shorts in here. Yeah, come on. Here we are. There we are. There's the tape. I think I know where the aluminum and green idea came from. Actually, no. Now, FHE was making aluminum labels before they partnered with MGM. Let's not get things confused here, Mr. Wilson. There's the, yeah. Wait a minute. Is there a print date down here? There's a sticker. Let you show this is a genuine release, MGM UA home video. There's no print date I can see. And here is a Warner Brothers release. Carrot Blanca. Looney Tunes. Bugs Bunny playing Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, this is a little short, parodying the movie Casablanca from Warner Brothers with the Looney Tunes characters. We've got a few other shorts on it, which it details down here. There's the description if you guys want to read that. There we are. There's the snazzy looking Warner Home Video sticker label right there. Looks like the print date is July 9th, 1998. And whoever stopped playing this tape left it off halfway through. All right. Now that's all of the VHS tapes. And now we're moving on to the last of the stuff that I got for my birthday, which is DVDs, books, and a couple music CDs. I don't know if you guys knew this, but making an update like this is tiring, kind of. I've been running my talker off for the last hour and a half. Seemingly. Phew. Actually, probably 2 hours, maybe. Okay, here's first DVD. This is a hit entertainment release. Rub-a-Dubbers. Tubbs Pirate Treasure. I remember watching Rub-Dubbers when I was a kid. It was made by the same people that made Bob the Builder. Hot animation. I remember Rub-a-Dubbers. I remember the frog. And I remember having a toy of old Finbar over here. The mighty shark, is scared of nothing. Boo! Ah! There's hit entertainment. What a wave of nostalgia they brought. Even if not all the stuff they made was good, they still made some real peak memories for a 2000s kid. There's the disc. And this copy I got of it was brand new, sealed. Never played. Wonderful. Wonderful. And next, we got another FHE DVD release. It's the Beatrix Potter Show Me a Story collection. It's the 3 Beatrix Potter VHS tapes from 1990 put onto one DVD. There's the spine. We got the FHE Kids logo down there. And there's the back cover detailing the content that is on... Oh, the 4 volumes. Sorry. And this is a pretty late release from FHE, 2004. There's the disc. Alright. Up next, here comes Beer Cottontail again. This time on DVD. And it is the 2013 restored version that for some reason Universal decided to show the 42-minute edit of when they put it onto Blu-ray. And when you look for the restored version anywhere, it's always the 42-minute version. Because everybody's just like, oh, it's the Blu-ray, it's the best quality version out there. They don't know it's edited. Oh well. This one is the remastered version, but it's uncut. Yes, for some reason, the DVD is uncut, but the Blu-ray is the edited version, and it's got Beer Cottontail, the movie, on it, which looks mildly interesting to me, maybe. Mildly interesting mainly in that it's actually a sequel to the original Peter Cottontail movie, not a retelling of it in feature-length form. Let me just open it up. Open it up. There. There is the disc. And back into the slip it goes. Here comes Peter Pan. There's one of FHE's last releases, Barbie Fairytopia. Discover a magical new land. Yeah, I remember when this thing came out, and how interested my sister was in it, particularly. I remember seeing the cover all the time. This was one of their last releases before being completely absorbed into Lionsgate. One of FHE's last. Pay respects to the F and the H and the E. There we are. There's the Littlest Angel DVD. Must be an ex-library copy. Yep. Here's Tubby the Tuba again, but it's on DVD and it's from a they obviously had to take a tape copy of the film and put it on a DVD because it does not look very good. If you've seen the YouTube copy of the film, that's basically looks like a VHS rip and has oversaturated colors. It's basically this version. That's basically the version that's on this DVD. And I'm glad that I got a copy of Tubby the Tuba on VHS because it's Way better looking than the Canadian DVD right here. And somebody actually wrote out all of the chapters. I guess they thought that'd be pretty useful for whoever ended up owning this next. And here's Velveteen Rabbit. I got this because it's the version that FHE put out, even though this release is not by FHE. FHE sold the heck out of the Velveteen Rabbit. Wow. There's the desk. Alright, here's the last DVD. Baby Van Gogh. This is the Disney version, not the FHE DVD. If there was an FHE DVD, I don't know. They may have only released it on VHS. And there's the back cover. You can tell it's the Disney version by the logo down here. And there's a Canadian copy too. There's the little booklet in here, and there is the disc. A digital board book. That's their fancy little name for it. There's all the DVDs. Now the last part of this very, very long video. The books that I got. Well, actually, no, it's not the last part. I mean, I guess I can conflate them both together. The books and the 2 CDs that I got for my birthday. Yeah, say the whole thing. Okay, let's set these over here. I'll start off with the music CDs. They're much more readily available close to me. There they are. There they are. They're little people. They're little people CDs. Got these because I'm nostalgic for 2000 era Little People stuff. That was the main reason. I'm nostalgic for these characters. Eddie, Michael, Sonya Lee, Sarah Lynn, Maggie, Farmer Jed, and all those crazy creatures. Old Freddy the Frog. A whole bunch of guys. What a gang they were. What a fun gang they were. The memories I still have of them. There's the end. You know what? I'm not going to open these. I don't want to risk damaging them. Here. The books. Oh, they got tangled up with my headphones. Hold on. I almost dropped my laptop. Oh boy. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. And here's the first books that I got for my birthday. There's 2 Babar books. The story of Babar and Babar the King. Figured if I was going to get a Babar video, I'd get the Babar books to go with it. Especially because this one in particular is based on the episodes that were in the Babar's First Step video. And the other one, I think, is based on Babar the movie, but I'm not entirely sure. Let me just get these out of the way. Next thing is the Clifford the Big Red Dog, the movie, graphic novel. Big reason why I got this, no pun intended, was because I liked the art style. Something about these graphic novels and the way they draw the humans is kind of appealing to me, and I wanted a little piece of that in my own collection, you know. Even if the copy I got wasn't in the best shape, being used and all, but oh well. There's a Winnie the Pooh book, all year long. A simple little book about Pooh and his friends doing various little activities throughout the year. Next up, Goodness and Good Grief, All the Feels with the Peanuts Gang. This is a book that I bought new in Meijer one day. I think the title speaks for itself. And I'm surprised it took me this long to find this. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, Pirate Pals. I'm surprised it took me this long to find a copy of this book. Or any book of the most recent SpongeBob movie. There's Bob and Larry's ABC's VeggieTales. I have the original 1997 edition of this, where the illustrations are made with the 3D models used for the VeggieTales videos at the time. But I also wanted this one because I loved the art style in it. At first I thought, when these new editions came out, that they were rubbish, but looking back on them, I really like the stylization of the art of the VeggieTales. I think these were a great translation of the 3D designs into 2D. They look really appealing. And here's old Barney. Barney makes music. Oh boy.
Oh boy, here I go beating my drum.
It's from Lyric Studios. Barney Makes Music, only available from Lyric Studios. Our old Fisher, that old trailer announcer for Lyric Studios. He always made watching Barney trailers a blast with his enthusiasm and energy for it. And here's we got a big book from Guy Gilchrist, Bugs Bunny, and Happy Birthday Bugs. It's about Bugs Bunny's enemies throwing him a birthday party, and they recount all the joyous memories of them spending time with Bugs, and then they remember how they were always at the receiving end of them, and they were like, you know what, Bugs Bunny's kind of an asshole. Why are we throwing a party for this guy? And they almost blow him up. They almost blow him up on his birthday. But then Daffy Duck takes the president. It gets blown up in him instead. It's a really fun story for Bugs Bunny's 50th birthday, which is pretty much the reason this entire book was made in the first place. I really like the illustrations that Guy Gilchrist did for this book. And it's got the 50th anniversary Bugs Bunny logo in there, in the inner cover. And I knew when I found this that this was a treasure. Mickey Mouse Tales. It's a collection of some of the books, stories that the Disney artists drew back in the 30s. They're all based on the theatrical Mickey Mouse shorts, or maybe they inspired many of the theatrical Mickey Mouse shorts stories. because pretty much every story in here, there's a theatrical short for it. But the big reason that I got this book was because I really loved the artwork in it. I thought it looked very, very professionally done and very, very energetic and appealing looking. And I liked the rhyming schemes that most of the stories used, and it just looked like a really, really nice read to me. Right. Here's a little engine that could. The 90th anniversary edition of the story. Yeah, it's one of many versions of this book that they basically would retell the original story, but they would update the illustrations, and each artist would have their own interpretation of it. And I got this one because it was a couple bucks at Goodwill, and it looked really good. The illustrations did. Here's a Charlie Brown book. It was a short summer Charlie Brown. This is based on the last Peanuts TV special from the 1960s, and the illustrations are mostly made up of the animation cells and backgrounds from the special, which is kind of the norm for the Peanuts books that were based on TV specials or other animated Peanuts media at the time. They would usually use just the animation artwork for the pictures. Okay, as I reach for the next book is Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree. It came with an audio cassette, but this copy didn't. It's basically a smaller, reprinted version of the book and record from the 60s. It reuses those illustrations inside of it. I'm pretty sure it reuses the audio too. Or at least the original magnetic tracks were remixed, probably. There's the Winnie the Pooh's Christmas! This looked like a fun one, especially it looked interesting because it looked like the guy who illustrated this stuff was also the same guy who illustrated the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh storybooks from the late 80s, which I have several of. The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is honestly one of my favorite animated shows ever made. Even though I don't watch it too much nowadays, just because I've got a lot more interest, it still will always hold a soft spot for me. It is one of my favorite incarnations of Winnie the Pooh ever. There's Peanuts. Here comes the Easter Beagle, except this book isn't really about the Easter Beagle, but it's about finding a replacement for the Easter Beagle, because the Easter Beagle's sick. Easter Beagle's sick. He can't deliver his eggs, so they have to get a replacement for him. What's the replacement? Well, look for the book and find out, because I'm not telling you. There's Care Bears, King Funshine Bear, based on Journey to Joke-a-Lot. Yeah. Journey to Joke-a-Lot was a movie I really loved when I was a kid in the 2000s. But it's a movie I really do not like as an adult. Because after I learned a lot more about the Care Bears lore and everything, this movie got kind of cringy to watch. It I respect the message that it had, but maybe I should watch it again to form a proper opinion on it. But last time I saw it, it really didn't do anything for me. Okay, we're down to the last couple of books. And the last two books here. One of them is The Velveteen Rabbit. Yes, The Velveteen Rabbit. In book form. Yeah, it's got some very good illustrations in there. It's a nice story, but it's also kind of a sad story too. It ends in a very sad way, I think. But oh well. And here's the last book. Tiny Toon Adventures books. Babs Bunny. Privateer. Found this at Goodwill. For $1. And that is it for my birthday presents. Good grief. Whew. Yeah, safe to say I had a heck of a birthday this year. Whole bunch of new tapes to transfer, and a bunch of books to read, and a bunch of DVDs to rip, and I even got a little toy over there, and yeah, this was a heck of a birthday. But now that I've shown it all to you, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this deep dive into everything that I got. Well, pretty much almost everything that I got for my birthday. There's a few things I didn't really want to show you. It was just mostly clothes and stuff. But yeah. If you guys got any interesting commentary or opinions or stuff say on any of this, please by all means put it in the comments section down below. Oh. I guess I'll upload the tape transfers soon. I haven't quite decided when I'm going to upload them, but I don't want to make you guys wait too long for them. Maybe the end of June I'll upload a few and then I'll trickle them out through July. I don't know. I'll see how it plays out. I'll be ripping more of them as time goes on. But in the meantime, this has been my VHS update number 8 / birthday present showcase for 2025. Thank you all for watching. And bye-bye. Yeah, I'm gonna have a time cleaning all this up.